looking at the market right now shows you some key facts about the price and the volume. Look at this volume. We had some decent buying, but the price didn't go above the previous candle, even though the selling volume was much lower. So yes, this doesn't show a huge sign of strength in the buying side from Bitcoin end, but then when you go on a daily chart, this is where it actually gets even more interesting, because what we just saw was a shorter horizon chart. But right now, you get to see the fact that the price action is still in this range with the daily close, obviously. Other than that, the volume, which was low, they came in and pushed the price all the way down to 5,600. And during that time, XRP came down to 0.52. That's not a huge drop in price action, but it is getting rejected. So we may actually see the price going down to this range if we don't hold this level. This is the rounded bottom breakout. If we don't hold on to 0.53, XRP is coming down to 0.46. This is the pattern, this is the channel, and this is the room to the downside. So we may come down to this range. Now, yes, the news, the fundamentals, or the current affairs, it's getting a lot more interesting, but the price action is not reflecting that. What in the hell is happening? What can we look forward to? Welcome to the Scientific Investor family, where the normal retail guys get learn how to become the next top 10% of this world. Right now, you have different assets in the market which are performing very well. Just you have to be placed or positioned correctly. This went up 35% for the day, 80% for the week, 140% for the month. Now, we had these targets and target one is already hit. So if you are in the right assets at the right time, yeah, it takes some patience, a bit of patience, but you just got your targets hit. So back then it was 0.278 and the targets were close to 0.65. We are now at 0.7. We went above that. So if you are positioned well enough in the market, now you have access to different assets which running up. So 1,000 members plus in the SI family is taking benefit of all of this. And if you want to join them, look at the link in the description in YouTube or in the bio in Twitter. Now, let's jump into the price action where we want to know what it looks like. There's Bitcoin dominance. Usually, when you have one candle dropping this much, that's like the mother candle or whatever way you want to put it. But then if you're taking 3, 4, 5 different candles to come back up, that shows the momentum to the upside here is super low, which means you can most likely expect the price to come back down or to continue to the downside. And this is Bitcoin dominance. That's great for the altcoins because right now on a pattern side, you're here. Great. You're still at this point, you tried faking to the upside and then you're coming back down. If this is what we are going to see, like the recent past, then we may get a little bit of fake out here in the moving average and then drop. Remember, that was the time when you saw a lot of altcoins doing extremely well. And we may see that because this is the altcoin market. Remember, we have been trading inside this range for 535 days plus. And what does it actually sound like to you? Because the market is literally showing it was a support that turned into a resistance, then again a resistance, then it was resisted, but you broke through and came back to retest that. The retest was successful. You bounced off. That in itself is a huge story to look for, meaning that's a clear trend to the upside, right? You are doing an accumulation, a breakout structure to the upside. So history is repeating in itself. Short-term volatility is going to actually kill a lot of individuals because you don't know where the candle is going to end. You may literally see volatile day and then go back up and close before the daily close. And that's exactly what we saw here. The price came back down to 5,600 and then went back up to 51,900. Now we are down to 51,339. So if you zoom in, what can you really see? I mean, think about this. The price action is really cool. It came back to this support zone. It is respecting this support zone, which is something you need to look at. If the price action is saying like, okay, I cannot break this resistance, remember one thing, price travels in a path where there is least resistance. So if there is a lot of attempts and the price is getting rejected, that doesn't look good. So now you come back into the price action, you can see that the long wicks at the bottom here has been there on 17th, and now it's there on the 21st. So literally, each time you're dropping to this level, you're getting supply and demand coming out. See, the opposite is also true. When you tried to break this range initially, that showed a lot of resistance. So the trend, the macro trend, which is to the upside, as you can see, was strong enough to break through or push through that. That's something to keep in mind. So you go back to the macro trend because you want to make sure you follow the macro trend. Now, what if the weekly candle closes like this? That means you have a slowdown in the RSI on a weekly, which gives you an easy clue that a negative divergence is almost getting confirmed, right? So last time when you got the negative divergence confirmed was at this level. Now, it doesn't mean the price is going to drop right away to the bottom. The price can still play around in that range and even go up. So this divergence was confirmed at this price, which was 45,200. It went up to 65. So think about that. The divergence was confirmed at 45, but the price still went back up $20,000. That's not a small deal. And during that time, you actually got a lot of these altcoins running through, and they were running pretty crazy, right? And that's a time, that's an era of altcoin millionaires being born. And I believe we are entering that range because the entire altcoin market is showing you that. Whether you are looking at the total 2 or the total 3, excluding Ether, you would like to look like, okay, if the market is showing me this, what can I look forward to? Because your volatility range is more here compared to the other one, because Ether is a large cap asset. It kind of dampens your volatility to the upside. So here you're watching something similar, which is following the Bitcoin, all true. And you also are starting to look like you're forming a negative divergence. But is it confirmed there yet? No, as of now, it's not, right? We're waiting for the weekly close, 1, and 2, the next week. Why? Because we have seen scenarios where you actually get a weekly candle close just like this, and then the next candle it pops through. So that kind of invalidates it, but the chances of the price running higher with a higher momentum increases. That's something we have always seen, that the price is starting to show you negative divergence. By the time it's confirmed, the price is already going up like nuts. And then the price action shows like you missed the top, right? So if you are trying to jump on to this asset, there is a lot of concerns. Remember, we actually talked about ING a few weeks back, highlighting the same fact that watch, the negative divergence is getting confirmed, and that's not a great thing, right? The price action was showing a heavy risk movement, and it was on a 3-day chart. We actually discussed through that. Now we're here, right? If you do see this asset breaking to the downside, that's a concern. Now, back in the day, you had same range once where the price was slowing down, but then immediately it decided to go up because a lot of people wanted to sell. Now you would be thinking like, whoa. If a lot of people wanted to sell, how does the price go up? There's a catch. If that lot of people is the financial institution or whales who still have a lot of this asset to sell, they initially buy, push the price up, and then dump it. Because as soon as the price go up and create a new high, a local high, there is going to be FOMO into that asset. They utilize this and sell everything there. That's the primary reason why you get these kind of candles. Boom, it drops like hell, right? So you have massive drawdown in just one candle. And that's a sign that these guys are out. So any retest is an exit for you, me, and others. If you're already looking at the negative divergence, you're not waiting for that. You just got this one small candle and you're out because that negative divergence was confirmed there. So this Sunday, when the candle closes, or early morning Monday on Asian side, you'll actually get to see where Bitcoin candle closes. And historically speaking, for Bitcoin, there is going to be super volatility and money flow is going to be into the altcoins. So especially for the large cap altcoins, which we are eyeing here, say this is XRP. We would like this to break to the upside, but as of now, we are still inside this pattern. We want to see that going up, but this is what the market is showing us. It is breaking to the downside. It is coming back to retest this. The only possibility, which is positive, in a micro chart like this, is the ABC correction. Once we complete this, go back up, continue the trend, that's bullish. So if you do bounce from 0.5 to 0.53, that is going to be something good for XRP. Now we go on to Ether, which is kind of a deciding factor for a lot of people in altcoin market. They're looking at this in a different way. And say, for example, you take a 3-day chart. It's not the 1 day, it's not a weekly, but you're trying to see what's happening in the market. So on a 3-day, the price action is kind of showing you, there is some concerns here, right? That the price action was going up, but the RSI was going down. You had negative divergence, and then immediately the price dropped. How much did the price drop? That's the biggest question. And you want to see historically how much do you drop? 15 to 20%. We dropped close to 20%. Okay, that made the local bottom and then you went back up. So on a line chart, you get to see this. What is that? A trend formation to the upside. You're trending to the upside. Fine. That's where you actually go on a monthly or a weekly, whichever higher horizon you want to look at. And then you start looking at this. You're like, okay, if this is what I've seen in the past, and this is where the RSI is at right now, historically speaking, the price action just go up, 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 up. You may have maybe 1 month of super volatile movements. Say weekly charts on that month may show you some heavy volatility. But end of the day, this is what you're watching. The price action is going to the upside. That's something to look at, because if you're in the altcoin market, you would like to, or at least I would like you to look at this market on a line chart, on a monthly, and ask yourself, what do you see? Is the price action going down? Is the price going up? Do you think it's going to follow the history? Because history suggests that you consolidate in a range, you break through, and you just go up until you form a negative divergence. So keep your mind and money focused on this to make the right decisions. And that's one of the reasons why we put that much time and effort into the SI family, so that you guys can take the best, well-educated decision in the market. And that's one of the reasons why SI family is one of the most educated crypto group in the market, because you get to see what the reality is with detailed explanations, opportunities, targets, which kind of gets hit. Now, you need some patience. It doesn't happen over a few hours. Sometimes it does, but most likely it does not. And you need patience for sometimes weeks, sometimes a couple of months or more, depending on which chart you take. If you're trading on a weekly, yeah, obviously, that's an opportunity, but you need to give time for each weekly candle close, because it won't be just one weekly candle popping through. That won't happen. You will get organic growth to the upside. So whether it's this asset or any other asset, you go on a weekly and you're looking at this. On a short term and you're zoomed in, you're like, whoa, that just blew through. But as soon as you start zooming out, you're like, whoa, that's just a breakout from the accumulation range. And that liquidated a lot of people on the other side. And that's what happened here. Look at the volume. Someone big just came in. Fine. So what happened? The price structure was going to the downside, and it was showing you what? The reason we entered there was this, a breakout, a retest, and a bounce. So that bounce was showing we may go above this. We did go above that. So if you receive value, smash that like button for me. That supports the growth of this channel. I'll meet you guys on the next video. Bye for now.